Tonight, the city streets will not be safe.
Hey, the Dragon's going to be breathing fire right here in Cleveland for the St. Valentine's Massacre. Be there.
Across the nation, it's a time when people are looking for love. But tonight, the most explosive men in wrestling will be seeing red and breaking more than just hearts. Now, Superstation TBS presents
Clash 5 St. Valentine's Massacre.
We'll be there. You be there.
Clash of the Champions 5, the St. Valentine's Massacre. Next.
Clash of Champions 5, coming to you live from the Cleveland, Ohio Convention Center. We have a great 2.5-hour program for you here, fans, tonight, highlighted by two championship events. Magnum, we're going to see the United States Tag Team Championship on the line, and that match has a very unusual situation.
Absolutely, Jim, because there's an interesting situation here. I was there and watched a Fantastic lose this very prestigious title to the Varsity Club, but it was different then because then it was Kevin Sullivan and Dr. Death. But they made it very clear when he won that title that they worked as a unit, that anybody in the Varsity Club could defend that title, and that's what we're going to see here tonight. We're going to see Mike Rotundo in there with Steve Dr. Death Williams.
Varsity Club with interchangeable parts, plus the six-man tag team championship of the world will be on the line as the Road Warriors and Tenryu take on a very unlikely trio. But what do you know about Tenryu?
Well, Jim, it's known far and wide. Tenryu is the greatest wrestler ever to come out of Japan. He is going to be a real treat for the wrestling fans here in this country to see. We know the reputation of the Road Warriors. We don't have to talk about that. We know how formidable they are. But we've got to think about the team they're facing, because Michael P.S. Hayes, the Junkyard Dog, and the Stinger may be an unlikely trio, you might say, but with the explosiveness of the Stinger and with the experience of the Junkyard Dog and with that key element, Michael P.S. Hayes, he took the Freebirds to such great heights in six-man tag team wars. He may be the key element here tonight.
Also, fans, you're going to see the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette versus the Russian assassin Steve Casey. And Hacksaw Butch Reed, you're going to see Rick Steiner take on the New Zealander Rick Morgan. Plus, Nature Boy Ric Flair will be here. Lex Luger is here wrestling, and Ricky Steamboat's here. And with Flair and Steamboat in the same building, it could be very explosive.
There's definitely a catalyst involved there, but you know, we're going to look at the two different men tonight. Ric Flair is going to be styling and profiling the likes of which we've never seen. He's got an entourage here with him tonight. He's really going to set everybody back on their heels. And Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, in a couple of days, has got the biggest match of his life, and he's going to be sharpening his skills tonight against an opponent right here for us live.
Fans, are very happy that you're with us right now. Let's take our very first commercial break, and we'll be back with the Midnight Express and Jim Cornette meeting the Russians in just one moment.
Clash of the Champions St. Valentine's Massacre is brought to you by Coors Light. There's no slowing down the Silver Bullet, the best light beer for a good long time.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from Kilos, Russia, with a combined weight of 288 pounds, along with their manager, Paul Jones, the Russian Assassins.
All right, fans, we're back here on the Clash of Champions. Paul Jones and the Russian Assassins to meet Jim Cornette's Midnight Express in this first tag team event here on the program. Midnight Express, as we know, on Monday night will put their careers on the line, in essence, against Paul E. Dangerously in the original Midnight Express at the Chi-Town Rumble. We certainly hope you call your local cable company for program availability for that big event Monday night. And Magnum, this should be a great contest. You've got the size and the strength of the big Russian team versus the quickness and the wrestling team expertise of the Midnight Express.
Well, Jim, you know, we've always said the Midnight Express really executes tremendously in the ring, and they know how to work like that fine-tuned machine. But they've got the work cut out there for them tonight because these Russians are really looking big and angry.
Stan Lane starting out against Russian Assassin number 1. The big Russian, 6'8", 330 pounds. Obviously with a size advantage over Sweet Stan Lane, the man with the educated feet. Fans will be hearing in a few moments from Paul E. Dangerously.
Jimmy, see Stan backing off right there and realize this man's got too much strength for him to go head-to-head with. He's going to have to come up with some kind of trick here.
The veteran manager, Paul Jones, plotting strategy against Jimmy Cornette. And Stan Lane went down. And I'll tell you something, if he gets into a power situation here with this big Russian, Sweet Stan's going to be in trouble. Stan Lane with a double karate thrust and a karate kick. Going downstairs on the big man from the Soviet Union. There's a wrist lock, quick tag in. A great trait of any super tag team is how often they tag in and where it happens during the match. The strategy involved, and that's what the Midnight Express have mastered so well.
That's right, Jim. You know, they've always been able to capitalize on other teams' slowness or their inability to counter their quick tags around the ring. Bobby Eaton really knows how to cut that ring off on the man. Right now, the big Assassin's laying in some heavy blows of his own.
Scoop slam by the big Russian. Tags in Russian Assassin number 2, perhaps the more agile of the two, but the quickness of Bobby Eaton paid off right there, and another quick tag. Stan Lane went downstairs again, and the Midnight Express have tagged 3 or 4 times. The Russians have made one switch. Nice clothesline type maneuver by Stan Lane.
But Jim, you can't say anything about the Midnight Express backing up. They're turning this into a very offensive game right here because they are going full force on the attack.
With their tremendous style of chain wrestling, their ability to tag in and out, to work on one particular part of the anatomy so well, they could certainly, as this match progresses, frustrate the Russians like they're frustrating Paul Jones here. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul E. Dangerously is standing by. Let's hear some comments from him in just a moment.
You know how generous Ted Turner truly is to let you people see Jim Cornette for the very last time. Because Monday night, February 20th from Chicago, Illinois, on live pay-per-view, Jim Cornette is going to be out of the NWA because Loverboy Dennis, Ravishing Randy, the real Midnight Express, and Paulie Dangerously, we're going to take Jim Cornette out of professional wrestling. My man, you'll rot in the devil's playground when we're done with you. I feel sorry for you, Cornette.
Okay, fans, those comments, of course, Paul E. Dangerously referring to the Chi-Town Rumble 89 this Monday night. And Magnum and I have the esteemed pleasure to invite Mr. Dangerously here to our broadcast position. I'm sure that you've scouted this team as much, or I'm sure more than any other manager ever in wrestling. I know that you know more about Jim Cornette's team than anybody. The one thing you've got to watch for is not Jim Cornette's wrestling ability, but that man right there, Bobby Eaton, and his partner, Stan Lane. They want you, sir, in the ring. What happens when you threaten Cornette? You get Stan Lane and beautiful Bobby Eaton involved with you, and Jones, former great wrestler in his day. And he's still got that competitive spirit.
Well, Jim, I think you just made a pretty good observation there. That's what happens when a wrestler, ex-wrestler, and even in his managerial position, he got involved with the active wrestlers. And you saw Stan Lane put a pretty good hurting on him right there.
Cornette very happy. All right, Paul, we're joined now by Paulie Dangerously, and now the big Russian team slowing things down. Are you going to slow things down Monday night like the Russians are here?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm going to speed things up. My game plan for Monday night, I've discussed it with Loverboy Dennis, I've discussed it with Ravishing Randy, and the fact of the matter is, we are going to go in there. Dennis is going to take apart Bobby, because Bobby now for 2 years has been, now watch this, watch this.
That could happen to you, my friend, Monday night.
You see, that tennis racket number 1 is not going to help Jim Cornette Monday night, because the fact of the matter is, if that tennis racket is such a great weapon, how come it didn't help him the first time the Midnight Express is clashed? He should get a telephone, because if he had a telephone, he could have called for some help. Loverboy Dennis left Bobby Eaton laying in a pool of blood. Ravishing Randy did the same thing to Stan Lane, and I did to Jim Cornette. And Monday night, Bobby Eaton, you can feed your family. Stan, you can do the same thing. But Cornette, you're out of professional wrestling.
Russian Assassin slamming Stan Lane's head into the top turnbuckle. That's Russian Assassin number 2 in there. Tommy Young, your official. Stan Lane fights back with fists and with feet. Lane exchanging punches there.
Jim, I think the Midnight Express is really looking on top of their game. They're standing toe-to-toe with the big men, and they're giving them all the fight they want.
Stan Lane very cautious. Not to just... They can't, I don't think, really attack this team head on. Look, the Russian Assassins, that's not the same guy that was in the ring. They made a switch here. Russian Assassin number 2 was the man in the ring, Magnum, moments ago. That's the bigger of the two there.
Jim, you're absolutely right. You know, you look at these two guys, it's hard to keep up with who's in the ring. It's hard enough for the referee to tag team, but when you got two guys with the same uniforms, the same mask on, you really can't keep up with it.
And now Russian Assassin number 2 back in the ring. They have slowed this pace down, and that's very uncharacteristic of a Jim Cornette-led team to let another team dictate the pace.
That there's no way.
Jim, you know, they've really got to be careful here, because they can't let the Russians dictate the match the way they want it here. They need to get back on their game plan, because pound for pound, they're just not big and strong enough.
You know, if you watch this, look at all the tactical errors Cornette has made. Look at all the strategical errors Cornette has made. He's so obsessed with Monday night. He's so obsessed with getting to Paul E. Dangerously that there's no way that he's thinking straight. Jim Cornette from the outside of the ring has made what could be a fatal error. Can you imagine what kind of error he's going to make Monday night when he's in the ring? When he's in the ring with Dennis Connery, a man that fed Jim Cornette's family. When he's in the ring with Ravishing Randy Rose, a man that has no emotion, a man that has no feelings. When he's in the ring with me, the Psycho Yuppie Paulie Dangerously, I'll rip that preppy, that Pee Wee Herman with a Norman Bates complex apart.
Paul Jones trying to lead his team now to a big victory here from Cleveland, Ohio. Nice snap suplex by Russian Assassin number 2. Lateral press. He got a near fall, a 2 count out of that situation. Remember, I find it, Magnum, most interesting that Jim Cornette would negotiate a match against a team this tough, knowing what is at stake Monday night. And I know we talked about that. You might expound on that a little bit.
Well, Jim, you're right, but you got to realize too, maybe he wants to keep his guys toughened up on top of their game, because they're in there with some real grizzly bears right now, and that's the way they're going to have to think about it when they go in that match Monday night. They're all going to be fighting for their lives. That's what they're doing right now, and I think if they can come out healthy and unhurt, they're going to be readier than they've ever been.
Since neither one of you guys want to comment on what we are watching, of course, I'll sit here and I'll say the show. What you're watching again is Jim Cornette's strategical errors. The guy cannot think straight. He's so obsessed with Monday night, as I said before. He's making these mistakes from outside the ring. Can you imagine what's going to happen the very first time he makes a mistake from inside the ring with Loverboy Dennis, a professional athlete, with Ravishing Randy, a professional athlete, a man that used to be a bounty hunter, a man that tracked criminals for a living? Can you imagine what's going to happen? I tell you what, Jim Cornette can claim that he can beat me up all he wants. The fact of the matter is, no preppy from Louisville, Kentucky can take the whippersnapper from Wall Street.
Well, certainly that will be decided. The talking will cease on Monday night. Bear hug by Russian Assassin #1. I personally think this is a great strategic move for them to slow down the pace. The Russians are dictating the pace. It is methodical. It is deliberate. And that is exactly what Jim Cornette did not want to see here in Magnum in this contest. He wanted to control the tempo and keep these big men off their feet and off balance. And that's not what is happening.
Well, if Stan is hurt devastatingly enough in this match, this could really turn the tide for him Monday night. He's taking a tremendous amount of punishment here, a lot of pressure across those lower lumbar muscles in the back right now. This man is literally crushing him. He needs desperately to make that tag to Bobby.
Russian Assassin at a very wide base to prevent the tag. Stan Lane with a flurry there. Sends the big man for the ride. Irish whip to the corner. And Lane inside. He went upside down on that situation. And it was surprisingly great quickness from a 300-plus pounder that moved out of the way there.
I think that really caught Stan off guard, and his back was already hurt. And I just think he's sustaining a whole lot more injuries here than he needs to be taking, especially with this big match coming up.
Lateral press by Russian Assassin #2. I'm sure you fans saw he did not grapevine the leg. Stan Lane able to kick out of that predicament. There's a youngster with his face painted, perhaps a fan of the Stinger, or maybe even the Road Warrior. High lateral press, and a near fall situation right there. We almost had a pin right there. Stan Lane very resourceful, but they have made the tag, the Russians, and they have also prevented Lane from making the tag. That's what he needs to do right now, is tag. Beautiful Bobby Eaton. He sustained a lot of punishment. That may carry over to Monday night.
Jim, that's what we gotta keep harping on, because these men are supposed to be gearing up here, and they are taking a serious beating. I mean, he could have some serious back damage where he could be out literally for weeks.
I'm sitting back and I'm watching this. I'm watching how concerned Stan Lane is. I'm watching how concerned he is because he knows he's not going to be able to feed his fat mama on the name of the Midnight Express anymore. Look at Bobby Eaton. He's so concerned because he can't feed his stinking Alabama family on the name that Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose built. And Jim Cornette, what is he going to do after Monday night when he can no longer feed his family?
Oh, he went for the Russian missile. And Lane moved out of the way. Stan Lane is the closest he has been to his corner. He desperately needs to make the tag here and get the fresh man in the ring. That being, of course, beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Wrong way, Stan, wrong way.
That's the right way. And Bobby Eaton, full of fire, and he's hammering those right hands. He's got those Russians. They were flying around the ring, the big man. Double bulldog, Bobby Eaton, turning it on here.
That's it. I don't need to watch any more of this. I'm leaving. I'm calling Dennis and Randy. Jim Cornette, Monday night, my man. You're out, a professional wrestler.
Jim, he just threw beautiful Bobby over the top rope. That should have been a disqualification right there.
Stan Lane with those karate kicks, indeed, you're right. Bobby Eaton, though, up on top. Here he comes! Beautiful Bobby Eaton. The lateral press. And Jim Cornette, Midnight Express, with a resounding victory here in Cleveland.
Jim Ross talking about turning the tides of battle. It all turned around right here. Stan Lane got out of the bad situation, got things set up. That big kick of his, I mean, a beautiful karate kick. And there he is, the assassin laid out in a totally helpless situation. And beautiful Bobby going to the top. The patented rocket launcher of Bobby Eaton. Stan's got him set up, got a good trip. And right here, it's all over but the 1-2-3s. He catapults through the air and hit him hard on the canvas.
Indeed, a high-risk maneuver that paid off in spades for the Midnight Express. And fans will be back with a talk with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Hacksaw Reed and Steve Casey in a moment.
Fans, right now, here's the #1 contender for the most prestigious championship in the world, the NWA Heavyweight Championship. The #1 contender, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Little Dragon.
Little Dragon. How you doing,
Rick,
Bob?
fine. First of all, Rick, what brings the Dragon to the NWA?
Well, I think right now as a father, and I'm sure there's a lot of dads out there that's got little dragons at home, that the main reason that I'm coming back to the NWA, and thanks to the Turner people giving me a chance to go for the NWA title, and I think the main reason is being a father to secure my son's future. I've got a golden opportunity here to go out there along with the support of the American public and to show that the family way, the unit, to get together and unite, the fight against drugs, and all the corruption that's out there, that it's about time that the United States pulls together with their family and loved ones, and with this little guy right here, I've got that golden opportunity to secure it.
But with the greatest challenge of your career facing you on Monday night, why wrestle tonight? Why do you risk an injury, Rick?
It's all a part of professional wrestling. I'm having a bunch of what I consider tune-up matches, and a match that I'm having here tonight is what I consider a tune-up match, getting ready for my big match with Ric Flair Monday night in Chicago.
By the way, I think also we've got to look at some film, I think, of what happened in a match, right, Rick?
Let's roll it and just show the fans here exactly what happens. You know something, Ric Flair, and if you're listening back there in the monitor, it seems as though that every time you stick your nose into somebody else's business, you seem to get the worst end of the stick. Now, I'm not bragging. If you don't believe me, you can just watch the camera that's sitting in your locker room right now. You came out after I had 3 wrestlers at one time going through a workout and just started to intimidate me, take me beyond the point, and try to insult me and show everybody that who is #1. Well, you brought yourself into the ring, and as you can see right here, I got a piece of that $100 shirt. And I'm telling you, Nature Boy, if you're listening to me, don't interfere with this match that I'm having tonight. This is a tune-up match. You and I are gonna lock horns Monday night in Chicago.
All right, fans, you know, I don't think going into a big event that any wrestler or anybody in the world really could have more motivation than this man right here, Rick Steamboat, and that's a family.
Bye-bye.
All right, now let's go back to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next bout, one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing first from Dallas, Texas. He weighs in at 235 pounds, Steve Casey. His opponent from Kansas City, Missouri, weighing 250 pounds. Let's hear it for Hacksaw Butch Reed.
Hacksaw Butch Reed and Stephen Casey. Jim Ross and Magnum TA calling the action here, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us. Great words, Magnum. What motivation. Bob Caudle is right. Bob Caudle is a grandfather. He knows the true meaning of the family unit. And surely Steamboat's got the greatest motivating factor. He was holding it in his arms.
Jim, you can't get any better philosophy in life than Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is exhibiting. He isn't just talking about it, he is making it all happen, and he's got all his dreams ahead of him, and it's all going to come to a head Monday night.
Stephen Casey from the Metroplex in Dallas, Texas, collar and elbow tie-up. Hacksaw Butch Reed, the big, strong battler from the show-me state of Missouri. Reed's a very multi-talented athlete. Not only was he an All-American in college playing football, but he has also been very competitive on the pro rodeo circuit as a steer wrestler. Nice arm drag takedown there. And he's also, Magnum, as we have talked about right here on the Superstation, he can combine, look at the mass of the man, his shoulders and his arms. He's so strong, but he's also one of the quickest men in the sport, and a lot of people don't know that.
Jim, he's a thinking man's wrestler is what he is. He combines all the skills. He's got the kind of strength that he could just be a power man. He could rely on that brute force, but he has got the maneuvers and he's got the ability to execute that makes him an even better wrestler.
Nice quickness there by Stephen Casey, arm drag takedown. This youngster from Texas has got to use his quickness in this match because it's obvious that Reed, he is all man, no doubt about it, 265 pounds. Reed is not only the strongest man in this contest, he's one of the strongest men in the entire sport of professional wrestling. And Casey keeping that strength at bay, using the wrist lock, staying away from Hacksaw Reed.
Well, Casey is showing some real smarts here because he's not only out-experienced and outweighed here, but this man is a real veteran of many ring wars. And Steve Casey, trying to prove himself here in the NWA, has really bitten off a big bite to chew on here because a hacksaw can really put your lights out.
Reed with a reversal, and Casey reverses back. Nice counter wrestling by Casey. Twisting that arm, taking it around. Reed goes over. Casey drops the leg right on that massive bicep of Hacksaw Reed into the arm bar. And Magna, what do they say when you take a big man like that? Is that special right there?
You know, that is special, but I'm really interested in this action going on in the ring because Steve Casey so far has been able to neutralize Butch Reed's strength, but I wonder how long he can keep the big man at bay.
He's got a hit and run. Nice reversal, right back to the arm drag. And again, as we said, when a man that is as strong as Reed is lying in that position, it's extremely difficult, obviously, for him to use his strength. And that's what Casey obviously knows, and it's a good, solid game plan for this kid.
Well, you see Butch Reed coming right back to his base here. That's what Steve Casey's been taking away from him constantly this match, utilizing the arm drag, utilizing the mat, utilizing that mat work, because on his back, Butch Reed cannot use that tremendous, powerful arms and chest and shoulder strength, but if he gets up on his feet, it's a whole different story.
Fans, if you just tuned in, we're coming to you live from Cleveland, Ohio, Clash of Champions 5 here on Superstation TBS. And coming up in our next segment, Nature Boy Ric Flair and his entourage. And I think we could use several superlatives, Magnum, to define and describe that entourage. But as they say with beauty, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and we'll have those pictures a little bit later in the program.
Well, Slick Rick always likes a style and profile, and I don't think we could describe this. We'll just have to let the fans wait and see.
He's outdone himself tonight, no doubt about it. Hacksaw Reed complaining that Casey's breaking the rules, and now Reed having a one-sided debate with several thousand of the fans here.
Jim's kind of interesting situation because the young man, Steve Casey, has showed a lot of wrestling ability. He's neutralized Butch Reed's strength constantly by using a little maneuver here, a little reversal there, and he's really kept himself out of trouble thus far, but Butch Reed isn't beyond bending the rules a little bit if he needs to swerve things his way.
Stephen Casey has an unblemished record here on television since he debuted in the NWA. He's putting that unblemished record on the line here against Hacksaw Butch Reed. And fans, I'll tell you something, no matter if it's this Friday night in Cincinnati or this Saturday night in Greensboro Coliseum, wherever you have the opportunity to see Hacksaw Reed in action, you're going to see one of the toughest men in the whole entire National Wrestling Alliance. And Cleveland loves the NWA, and I'll tell you something, we love these fans here. The pound is barking, and when Rick Steiner comes down a little bit later, they may take the roof off this place.
Jim, without a doubt, everything's in a fever pitch here. Getting back to Butch Reed, I've been watching this contest. Butch has got things going his way now, but you've noticed he's been using a little extra leverage here and there. Grabbing the tights at a strategic time, maybe a little handful of hair. The man's got the strength, but he is definitely getting this man off balance in some rather unorthodox ways.
Reed up to a standing position with the arm bar. I find it disgusting, a man of his strength that has to pull hair just like that right there. Oh, good reversal. Nice reversal by Stephen Casey. And Casey, who definitely has the decided advantage regarding the quickness, just made a great counter move right there. And Reed frustrates so easily. But when he becomes frustrated, he becomes a very dangerous man as well.
Jim, I've seen it more than one time when a man, whether he be a good technician or not, gets a little frustrated, the violence comes out. He gets a little ruthless, a little more devious, and we don't want to see what happens if Butch Reed comes unglued.
Teddy Long from Atlanta, Georgia, calling for the break. Reed, the big haymaker. And nice move there by Casey. A couple of short, quick right hands, and then right back into the arm drag, taking the big man from Kansas City, Missouri, once again off his feet. And right now, it doesn't make any difference how much he can bench press. Casey's got the advantage.
Jim, it really shows how a wrestler can counteract a big man with strength. He was throwing a couple of punches there, trying to do some damage. But Steve Casey kept his head. He got right back on that arm, and he's doing some damage here.
Just as it has been said, fans, this is the NWA, and we wrestle in the NWA. That's the name of the game. Speaking of games, there's a lot of great-looking fans here tonight, Magna. I know a lot excited to see you here. We've got a tremendous crowd, and they are rabid as we're coming to you live here from Cleveland. We've got a great crowd there. I'll tell you something, this is a great sports city. The Cavaliers having a great year. The Browns just hired a new coach in Bud Carson. Great sports city that we're in right now here in Cleveland, Ohio.
Jim, this is the first time I've been here in 2 years, and these fans are intense. They are ready for this action. They feel the anticipation of it in the air, and they're ready to see some great matches, and we're having a great one right now.
Reed wants to test his strength here and lock the hands of Stephen Casey. And I don't know what you think. I think that's going to be a mistake for Casey if he goes power for power with this big monster.
See, Butch is playing a little mind game here with him because it's kind of hard to turn down that challenge when you got all the fans out there rooting you on. But I'm like you. I think he's playing a losing battle there because you can't go against those big 21-inch guns, especially when you're giving away 30 pounds.
There's a lot of things you can do using quickness in this position. But Reed, if he gets the advantage and puts this kid down, he's going to try to turn the corner. Big, strong, powerful man. And there you see the strength. He really rinsed it down, Mag.
And you see the cockiness coming out of the attitude of Butch Reed. You know, before we saw him a little slower, a little more methodical, but now he wants to punish this man.
Casey's no small man. He's in the 230, 35-pound range. Reed is so massive and so strong. Look at this kid Casey not giving up, coming right back up to a base. But Reed will have none of that.
Well, he may not be as big, but his heart's bigger than all outdoors because he is fighting against the proverbial mountain here. I mean, this man overshadows him, outweighs him, outstrikes him, but he is far from giving up.
Hacksaw Butch Reed really gained his reputation in the southern part of the United States, down in the old Mid-South wrestling area, and of course the NWA returning to the great state of Louisiana, to New Orleans, to Baton Rouge in the next few weeks. It'll be great to see those fans there as well. Nice reversal. That's using good strategy right there, Magnum.
Well, that goes back to the old game of chess. You know, he had to come up with a counter move, and he did. He got out of that situation, but he's right back in. He needs to get out of that corner desperately.
Big right hand by Hacksaw Butch Reed. He throws the heavy lumber, snapping Stephen Casey's head back, and a snap mare right out of the corner. Reed rakes the face of this handsome youngster from the Metroplex, Dallas, Texas. Reed stomps away at the head, and Reed, he is straight ahead. He doesn't do anything cute. And Monday night when he meets Sting in Chicago, I gotta think that may be the sleeper match of the entire card because these two guys are both loaded with ability.
Well, it's a collision that's a long time coming in my mind. Everybody's been talking about it, but we're gonna see it. I can't wait to see the collision because both the men are big. Both of them have speed, and one of them has got to go down. That's all there is to it.
Casey trying to shake it loose out here, but Reed, the veteran, quick to take advantage and seize this opportunity. It's almost as you can sense here in the Cleveland Convention Center that the momentum has switched to that man, very definitely.
Well, it switched and switched in a big way. When Casey was staying in control, he was basically in control of a hold. But now you see everything Butch Reed is doing is devastating. He's hurting Casey every time he lays his hands on him.
When Casey had the opportunity to use quickness and wrestling ability, he was showing extremely well. He's got to create another break for himself. He's got to have that second win and regain that quickness. He's fighting toe-to-toe with Reed, and that may be a mistake as he sends the big man from Missouri for a ride. And Reed just hammered him. He just hammered him coming off the ropes. Nothing fancy about that.
Talking about counteracting a move, you're right. There was no fancy maneuvering. It was just a big old ham bone, as he calls him, right on the backside of the head. And it definitely slowed Stephen Casey down.
I want to say hello to the great fans, of course, in Indianapolis this Tuesday night, the NWA in Indianapolis, Indiana. Also, this next Thursday night, 1 week from tomorrow night in Baltimore. What great fans in Baltimore. I love that city. Remember, Gary Jester's got a great card lined up for Baltimore next Thursday night. Of course, the NWA back in the Omni and our home base, the wrestling capital of the world in the Omni in hot Atlanta, Georgia, Sunday, March the 12th. The NWA getting red hot here, no doubt. And Stephen Casey may be cooling off right here as Reed has that reverse chin lock. And Magnum, we see this hold used a great deal. And there's a reason for it.
There's a reason for it because it wears the man on the bottom down tremendously. And it doesn't take near as much effort to keep the man down in this particular position. You can keep that weight with your forearms on the shoulders, keep that chin hooked, and just wear the man down. It is so hard to come back from this situation. It's hard for the average person to even comprehend.
Especially hard when you got arms like Hacksaw Reed wrapped around your head, squeezing away. Overhand wristlock position, and Stephen Casey showing a lot of intestinal fortitude, and Reed, as disgusting as it was, pulled the hair again. He has a decided strength advantage, as we have said on many occasions, against just about everybody he wrestles, and he resorts to those tactics. It's most distasteful.
Well, it gets back to psychology. You know, he is a man. Butch Reed is a man that will win at all costs. He's got all the credentials, he's got the ability, but when you combine that with a do anything, I don't care kind of attitude, it makes him twice as dangerous.
This event, Hacksaw Reed and Stephen Casey pitting two undefeated men from the NWA. They have not lost on television since both debuting in the NWA. Casey with a football tackle, down goes Reed. Casey gets some momentum, and Reed, he just muscled him out of the ring. He grabbed the front of his tights and just muscled him out of the ring.
Well, he changed momentum real quickly. Every time Stephen Casey tries to operate some kind of offensive maneuvers, get the momentum going his way, you see Butch Reed pull some little trick out of the hat to slow him down, dump him on the outside, slow up his rhythm, and then get him right back where he wants him.
Reed setting Casey, vertical suplex outside, back in, and Reed telling the referee, this is it, count him out. And Reed with a little lax cover there.
Jim, I'd say it's very lax because he looked like he had the whole ball of wax where he wanted it, but if you don't hook that leg, this man's still got a whole lot left in him.
Casey fighting back with all he has. This youngster really wanting to make a name for himself here in the NWA. Right hands by Casey. Sends Reed for the trip to the ropes, but nobody there. Casey found nothing but oxygen, nothing but air when he came off the ropes.
Well, Jim, you know, I think the story is this. I think Casey's worn down. I don't think those right hands had a whole lot of effect on Butch Reed. Therefore, it was real easy for him to hang on those ropes and be ready to step out of the way of that drop kick.
Casey could ill afford to make any mistakes in this situation. And Reed from right behind, we've talked about the reverse chin lock once again, Magnum. He's using it to his full effectiveness, and right there's a great shot of it.
Jim, you know, it's not a high-risk maneuver. It takes very little effort to perfect it and to get it to be just a very devastating maneuver for you. And right here, he's utilizing the ropes, getting a little extra leverage as well, as if he really needs it.
Well, I think it's quite obvious that Reed has proven to everyone here watching this live broadcast that he will certainly bend the rules or break the rules or disregard the rules if necessary.
Jim, I hope Sting is watching this because he can definitely expect a whole lot of this Monday night.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm sure that we can expect the same type tactics where Reed wants to control the pace of the match and use his strength, but he'll be wrestling a man that's very near his size in the Stinger Monday night, but Reed still is using the ropes for leverage. And Teddy Long, in all defense of the official, has got to stay there where he can see if the man wants to submit, and while Teddy Long is surveying the situation, so to speak, Reed was doing some choking.
Well, Jim, you know, you have blatant rule breaking and then you have underhanded rule breaking, and he's doing everything he can to get away with something every time the referee turns his back.
Fans, we have two championship matches for you in this program. The United States Tag Team Championship and the World Six-Man titles. First time ever for the Road Warriors and the great Japanese Tenryu to defend those six-man championships, and you're going to see it first right here exclusively on Superstation TBS as Reed continues to use the power on Stephen Casey. And to Casey's credit, it's obvious he's in magnificent condition, Magnum, but a lesser man would have folded the tent by now.
And that was the move he needed to make right there. Butch Reed has been on this top of this man much too long. It's time for him to change gears and stay in this battle. And that's exactly what he's doing.
Casey taking over now. The adrenaline is flowing in this youngster. He's up on the second turnbuckle with sharp right hands to the head and to the ear of Hacksaw Reed. Flying mares. Reed out of the corner, and Reed now reeling from this onslaught. Nice chop there by Stephen Casey, trying to bring Reed out of the corner. Reed blocks it. The monkey flip keeps him out of there. He used the strength of his legs and his arms on that one. And going upstairs with a drop kick. Another drop kick caught Reed right on the jaw.
Casey needs desperately to try to cover the man here because he doesn't have him in trouble enough. Look at the strength of Butch Reed.
Reed caught him in midair, almost dropped him, made an adjustment. Military pressed him over his head and gorilla slammed him, as he likes to say. And now the big man from the Show Me State is perhaps preparing to show us the bomb, he calls it. He's going to soar from the top rope. A big shoulder block from the top. And the Brick House from Missouri has just pinned Stephen Casey. 1, 2, 3, Reed's the winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, Hacksaw Butch Reed.
Jim, nobody can ever underestimate the power of this man. Coming off the top rope, some 270-plus pounds, hurling into his opponent shoulder to shoulder, knocking him completely head over heels. This was definitely the end.
The Power Block versus the Scorpion Deathlock, Monday night in Chicago. And fans, when we return, it'll be the Nature Boy and his entourage in 1 moment.
With the biggest night of his career now only days away, there's only one man that I know that would train like this.
Let's just ask
the world champion, Nature Boy.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Woo! Who is the fairest of them all? Life couldn't be any better than it is for the Nature Boy. Look at this. Woo! This is the difference between me and Ricky Steamboat. I got life right where I want it. Anything I want, just like that. Right, ladies? Show them one time. Come on, ladies. You'd like some of that, wouldn't you, buddy, huh? Come on out here, Pam. Take a little bow for me. Woo! That bothers you, doesn't it, buddy? Pam's mine. Woo! When Ric Flair tells you, whether you like it or don't like it, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today, then you know what? You better put it in the bank because this is your and I mean your World Heavyweight Champion. Hey, Steamboat, you're in the building. Come on out here one time, buddy. Come on out here, Steamboat. Take your pick, huh? You gotta be bored sitting home every night. Come on, buddy. Hey, Bob, I'll tell you what, bud. You're a family man, but take your pick, huh? You know the nature, boy. I got a heart as big as Cleveland, Ohio. Take your pick, come on. Neither Steamboat nor you. Let me tell you something. When you got a manager like Hiro Matsuda and a multi-million-dollar corporation behind you, then, buddy, whoo, this is no object. Steamboat, come on out here. Come on out here, little Ricky. Come on.
I think I see him coming now, Rick.
I certainly hope so. I certainly hope.
There he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dragon. Come on in here, Dragon. Check this out, girls. If it isn't Mom's apple pie. What do you say, big man? You got to be bored to death. The same woman every night. Come on, buddy. Look at this right here. You don't like this, buddy, but this is what, woo, being the world champion is all about. Yeah. Problem? Hey. Don't ever make the mistake of not looking me in the eye when I'm talking to you in front of my special people. I'm telling you right now, pal, you in front of this whole nation right now can walk away from Monday night and do yourself a favor. Because, buddy, if you think I'm riding high in the saddle now, after I beat you Monday night, buddy, what do you think about that, Dragon? Hey. Has the cat got your tongue? Huh? Is there a problem? Don't you want to address your public? Huh? Come on.
I despise what you represent, Ric Flair. I despise everything that you like, everything that you do, the way you represent the National Wrestling Alliance as the champion.
You really despise that $10,000 mink coat, huh? Wouldn't you like to have one of those, pal? Don't you despise this $1,500 custom-made silk suit? Would you like to have one of those? Not a chance. That's what being the world champion is all about. I'm a diversified businessman, pal. You, my friend, are on the outside looking in.
You know something, Ric Flair? The difference between you and me and the bulk of the fans here tonight is the fact that you represent all the evil materialistic things in this world today rather than the family union.
Hey, girls, I want you to take one last look at what a loser looks like. Why don't you go home and help the missus with the dishes, pal? I'm going downtown.
the Dragon, Steamboat has just stripped the World's Heavyweight Champion. That's what he wants to do Monday night, except for the title.
Flair showed me that suit before we went on the air. Said, Jimbo, what do you think about this? Fans, that was a $1,500 handmade, tailor-made silk suit for the Nature Boy. His shoes are even lying in the ring. It exploded here in Cleveland. The animosity that has, there's a pair of $2,000 ostrich shoes laying there.
That is a picture there worth $1,000 per second. That is what all the materialistic things of Ric Flair mean. He was stripped of all of them right here by the Dragon.
So Nature Boy, this is what a $1,500 suit feels like.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat standing for what is right. The family unit in America. And the Dragon with the families of America behind him. He's throwing Flair's clothes to the crowd.
Actions definitely speak louder than words, and his words have been heard all over this arena and all over the world. The Dragon is breathing fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. The Total Package versus the Blackmailer in one moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next bout, one fall to a finish. Introducing, from parts unknown, weighing in at 289 pounds, along with his manager, Hiro Matsuda, the Blackmailer.
Very interesting situation here. The Total Package Lex Luger, as we all know, will attempt to win the United States Heavyweight Championship Monday night in Chicago, but Hiro Matsuda has brought a man we know absolutely nothing about, the Blackmailer, to the ring. And Magnum, as a former wrestler, you know that's got to be really troubling to not know absolutely anything about your opponent.
And Jim, especially a double jeopardy situation like this, knowing that Hiro Matsuda is behind this. And look at Lex Luger, he's prepared for anything. He is so geared up now, I don't think it would matter who was under that mask.
Luger has big events coming up this Friday night in Cincinnati and Saturday night in Greensboro as he prepares for his opportunity to become the new United States Heavyweight Champion against the awesome competitor, Barry Windham, Monday night. And the strength that Luger possesses is really uncanny.
Jim, you know, you have to think that Matsuda is planning on spoiling some of Lex Luger's strategy here. Maybe slowing him down, maybe giving him some type of injury that would slow him down in his quest for the U.S. title. But I think Lex Luger is more than ready for anything. I've never seen him looking any better.
Overhand wrist lock attempted to be applied by the Blackmailer. Boy, don't you know he'd love to have a victory in this match. What an upset that would be here on national television. I say an upset because we don't know anything about this man. But she has pretty much told it all right there.
Well, especially knowing that Lex Luger is looking towards Monday night, looking towards the United States Heavyweight title, which with hopefully, if he's able to acquire that, he's looking towards a shot at the World's Heavyweight title. If you look too far down the road, sometimes you can get yourself in trouble. This Blackmailer may be a little more devious than we know.
The Blackmailer came off with momentum. Luger just stood his ground and knocked the masked man backwards. Luger, as we know, has come so close to becoming the world's heavyweight champion. And his opportunity to gain the very coveted and prestigious United States Heavyweight Championship is only about 5 days away. And I find it most interesting that he achieved the greatest tag team success in his career thus far with Barry Windham.
That's right, and we talk about Barry Windham being the epitome about what a technical, scientific wrestler is all about. He's one of the greatest technicians in the ring, in the sport. But Lex Luger has gone on record as saying many times that he has really become a student of the game. As if he hasn't been good enough before, he is trying to really perfect new maneuvers, new strategy that will help him attain these very prestigious titles.
Luger with that great football tackle. We've talked about many times his great football background collegiately and in the professional ranks. This kid was signed right out of high school by Joe Paterno, the legendary coach at Penn State, as Hiro Matsuda would love nothing more than to see Luger injured in some shape, form, or fashion here and not be able to be at 100% before Monday night, as we have another collar and elbow tie-up and Luger with a side headlock on the blackmailer, and Luger can turn this elementary maneuver into something of dire pain.
Jim, you got to wonder what's going through Matsuda's mind right now, because look at his whole house of cards has kind of been falling around right by his feet. He's watched the world's heavyweight champion be trounced around the ring by Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and he knows this man has never been more serious about defeating Barry Windham, and look how ready he is.
Belly-to-belly suplex, it was perfect, but the package jumped right back up to his feet. And if you hear the term, people talking about people in great condition and what their percentage of body fat is, this guy's got to be minus or something. He's very, very minuscule, if any.
But 6'6" and 275 pounds, to be that chiseled, that etched, as they call it in the bodybuilding world, and be that great an athlete is just unheard of in any sport.
Nice side headlock there by Luger. Standing up where he can really wrench his power down on the ears, even though he's got the mask on. Still a very, very painful maneuver, and that's where the cauliflower ears come from. See these guys, these ears all disfigured. Right there, Tommy Young, tell him to get the clean break. But the blackmailer buries the knees to the midsection of Luger, who reversed the Irish whip. High elevation up in the lights.
We're seeing a more explosive Lex Luger tonight than I've seen in quite some time. The man is very much on his game tonight.
I see, though, Magnum, also that he's not showing a lot right now regarding a wide variety of offensive moves. He's stuck with his side headlock. It's been very effective, but he's not going to show, I don't think, a lot of new things before Monday night.
Jim, I think it may be a back to the basics kind of lessons. He's going back to the basics. Got that headlock, I mean, just cinched down, and we've seen him executing everything perfectly, but going right back to that original game plan.
Fans, if you just joined us, Jim Ross and Magnum TA with you here, coming to you live from Cleveland, Ohio, the Clash of Champions 5. This is the NWA, and we wrestle here in the NWA. And Lex Luger will be wrestling for the United States Heavyweight Championship. He has held that title on one other occasion in his career. He knows what it's like, and that man knows Luger's background. He knows the potential of Lex Luger. I think he knows Luger better than a lot of people probably know. He studied a lot of film. He knows the stakes will be high come Monday night, and Matsuda is a great technician.
Well, Jim, you know if he spent the kind of money he obviously did to acquire the U.S. and World's Heavyweight Champion, he's got to be studying the adversaries and look at Lex Luger. Unbelievable scoop power slam.
That was a great power slam indeed, Magnum, and this man, he really possesses the quickness, the agility of a junior heavyweight. And when you put that God-given talent in that frame that we're looking at right there, you indeed have the total package in professional wrestling. Fans, I want to remind you, still to come after this match, our colleague Bob Caudle will be talking with the television champion Rick Steiner, and we will also have the battle for the United States Tag Team Championship. That coming up next here on Superstation TBS.
Jim, I can't reiterate enough. I see Lex Luger going back to the same game plan. He's really working on the basics here. He's got that headlock cinched in tight. I mean, he's just kind of giving us an exhibition of his wrestling skill here tonight, because I don't really see him tested. I show him sending out a real strong, clear message to Barry Windham, and that is he's ready.
It's like the legendary coach Bear Bryant used to say, the team that blocks and tackles the best will win the game. He's basically saying the team that is most fundamentally sound is going to win the ball game. And that's what Luger has got to be, so fundamentally sound, virtually error-free Monday night, because Windham is the consummate tactician. And Luger bending the rules there somewhat as he nailed him on the break. Look at this strength. This man advertised at 286 pounds, and Luger just nailed him. He went for a clothesline. And the masked man dropped down. The package went all the way over the top rope to the floor.
But that could be an extremely costly error right there. Lex Luger had everything going his way, and in one split second, he was over the top.
Blackmailer hammering away. I tell you, we've got Tenryu coming up. A lot of Japanese photographers here. All the major magazines are here. Pro Wrestling Digest here. Pro Wrestling Illustrated. All the big ones are here covering this major event here in the NWA. And Luger fighting his way back into the ring as the Blackmailer trying to rob him of the oxygen. And Magnum, that's the fuel. That's the fuel that runs the engine.
Absolutely, Jim. You know, he's out there on the floor now gasping for air, trying to get himself back on track. And every time he's trying to climb back in the ring, you see the man cutting him off, sticking the big boots to the throat. He was pulling his neck down the rope. And it doesn't matter how big or tough the machine is. If you can't breathe, if you can't get the oxygen to the brain, you can't think to keep it working.
Right hand by the Blackmailer, follows with an elbow. Now blatantly choking Lex Luger. One would almost think that this man, the Blackmailer, is not here to win this match. That may sound ridiculous. Of course, he's here to win. I think he's here to hurt Lex Luger. I think that's his motivation.
Jim, there's no doubt he was sent here on a mission. Hiro Matsuda didn't bring him here just to make a good showing. He brought him here to slow down Lex Luger, but he's not doing it right here.
Luger powers him over. He got a near fall, got a 2 count out of it before the Blackmailer finally freed himself. And Luger fighting back, kicks to the midsection, right hand, they're exchanging rights. Luger will get the better of this, but the Blackmailer goes to the eyes. What a delicate part of the anatomy, the eyes.
The Blackmailer definitely knows the easy way out. He can't go toe-to-toe with this guy. This guy's still got a lot of strength. So he's sure cut him off real quick.
There, that kick right to the ribs. Great camera shot there, almost taking you inside the ring with the stars here in the NWA. And Matsuda, I don't trust this man. I don't want to sound prejudiced against Oriental people. That's not it. But I don't trust Hiro Matsuda.
But Jim, notice the Blackmailer doesn't appear to be trying to pin Luger. He just seemed to be punishing him, trying to hurt him, constantly utilizing those ropes, utilizing the fact that he's not giving clean breaks. Now he finally goes for a pin. He's been trying to punish the total package.
What power. He just powered out. That's that bench press strength that this youngster has. You know, we say youngster, it's usually a guy's in his 4th or 5th year before he gets major title opportunities. Luger just starting his 3rd full year in the sport. His career has accelerated, and that's because of his tremendous athletic ability.
Jim, if he didn't have the potential he had, he would never come as far as he has so rapidly. Right now, though, look at the knee buried in the neck on this rear chin lock. We talked about this hold earlier. This is a punishing maneuver. He's got the knee buried in deep right between the shoulder blades and really wrenching down on this hold.
Very sound, basic wrestling, and we stress the word wrestling maneuver that the Blackmailer is executing perfectly on the package. But Luger has got that. He can switch gears and rise to another level. You have to be able to effectively wrestle at long periods of time on your upper level to be a champion. I think this kid's got it in him to do that, most certainly. And he's coming back right here. Luger gets some momentum, but he got caught coming off the ropes. Perhaps out of desperation, perhaps out of strategy, Magnum, but the masked man went downstairs and it worked.
Jim, I have never seen any greater potential in an athlete than Lex Luger. Still here, still thinking, blocking the suplex.
Standing vertical suplex and the total package. He played football at Penn State, played football at Miami. 2 great college powers. And Luger was wanted and played for both of those great institutions. That's the quality of athlete this kid is, and the blackmailer knows full well his potential. It's almost like Luger's adrenaline starting to rush through his veins. Momentum's turning. You talk about etched and ripped. He wants now to rip the head off this man. Matsuda's got to be feeling very uneasy at ringside. Luger sends him for the ride and nails him with a big elbow coming off the ropes.
Jim, that's what we're talking about, the explosiveness. The man has changed gears. He's now in control and in the driver's seat.
He has risen to that plane we were speaking of, and now he is dominating this contest. And this, could he be setting this masked man up for a move similar to Barry Windham's superplex? We have never seen Luger attempt this maneuver before. And he superplexed him off the top. That's Barry Windham's maneuver. And Luger from the lateral press did show us something new.
Near the entrance to the dressing room, and we've asked the world television champion Rick Steiner to come up and talk with us a minute from the dressing room.
I deliver him. I'm going to deliver all night long. Here he is. He's all yours.
All right, Michael Hayes, thank you. Rick, by the way, Monday night, Mike Rotunda says no more Rick Steiner.
Hey, Mike Rotunda, he's a good wrestler. I'm a good collegiate wrestler, too. He was a TV champion. I was a TV champion. You know, but the doctor said I had some problems, and I'm going to have to work them out. And what Mike's got to worry about is when I get in the ring, I just flip out, forget what I'm doing, just take his head off.
Hey, you got a tough one tonight. What about this New Zealander, Rip Morgan?
Oh, he's big and he's tough, but I go through with Alex, and Alex, the doctors put me with Alex to watch over me, so Alex is going to talk to me, and I'll just take care of it, do what I have to do.
Rick Steiner and Alex fans. All right, let's go back to the ring.
All right, fans, the United States Tag Team Championship, formerly held on 2 occasions by the Fantastics, will be on the line here. And as Magnum pointed out in the beginning of the program, the Varsity Club unit has basically interchangeable parts.
And that makes them all the more versatile, you know. I was there at Starrcade, and I saw how the Fantastics lost the titles to Steve Dr. Williams and Kevin Sullivan. And now they switch things around. You see Mike Rotunda in there with Steve Williams. But you also always had to remember, Kevin Sullivan is always nearby.
This is going to be a great test for the Fantastics. They're giving up some poundage here, but that has never deterred them in the past. They are two men that I think we can safely say are tag team specialists, and they make up for their lack of size if it were a factor. It is not. They are quicker than their opponents. They have that great tag team strategy, and they believe in each other, Magnum. That's so important, especially in this environment.
That's right, Jim. You know, I've seen them when the chips are down. I've seen these guys push to the limit. Fantastic many times when it looked like they were in no-win situations and they turned the tables on their opponents. They're definitely up against some tough odds here tonight, but they want those U.S. Tag Team titles more than anything. Kevin
Sullivan there with a relatively blank stare on his face. The Jim Jones of professional wrestling. Don't drink any Kool-Aid from that man. Nice fireman carry takeover by Mike Rotunda.
And you know, Jim, Mike's gearing up. We know he wants that world television title back. I mean, he's on top of his game, and he'd love nothing better than to sharpen his skills here tonight on Tommy Rogers.
Waistlock takedown by Mike Rotunda. Trying to hold Rogers, who's attempting to set out, turn away from the pressure, which he does.
A little intimidation factor there.
It reminds you of a couple of bullies, like from junior high or something. When you're walking down the hall, they slam the lock in your face, maybe try to take your lunch money from you. That's the kind of guys that Williams and Rotunda have turned into.
Well, Jim, you know, Tommy Rogers, Bobby Fulton, neither one of these guys are easily intimidated. But you're right, these guys are the bullies on the block. And that's, you know, we've seen a lot of that from them here lately.
Nice arm drag takeover by Tommy Rogers. I've often been in awe of Tommy Rogers' drop-kicking ability. I can say the same thing about the resiliency of a Bobby Fulton. These guys will not quit. I have never seen them submit ever in their entire career. And from what I hear, that man and Rotunda are going to try to go for a submission here tonight. That should be most interesting.
Jim, you're right. I've never seen them submit from any type of hold. I've never even really seen them rendered unconscious. I've seen them take a tremendous amount of punishment in the ring, but they always seem to have some strategy, some way out, and they really know how to utilize that tag, and that's really important when you're giving away this much size and strength.
Side headlock by Tommy Rogers. Rotunda with a handful of hair, trying to free himself. Waist locking him, feeling the pressure, feeling where he might have the opportunity to move away from that pressure. Side headlock by Tommy Rogers. Rotunda takes him to the ropes, shoots him off. Rogers, great leapfrog there by Mike Rotunda. And Rogers with a clothesline. Rotunda down, 2 count. And we had a near fall right there.
Well, Jim, Tommy Rogers is a very strong man, pound for pound. I've seen him in the gym, and he pushes around some pretty heavy iron. So even though he's giving away some body weight here, he packs a terrible punch.
Collar and elbow tie-up. Rotunda with the advantage very quickly. Side headlock. And here comes the big brute. 285. Dr. Death Steve Williams sends Rogers for the ride. Tries to follow it up, and we have both men clotheslining. Rogers got all of Doc, but Williams with a size advantage put Rogers right on his back.
Jim, you know, you followed his career longer than I have. Nobody's more intense than Steve Dr. Death Williams, but he definitely missed a big elbow there.
Williams was going for the cheap shot there. Now here's the double team. Double drop kick. Indeed, Rogers and Fulton are tag team specialists, and they've got to get Dr. Death off his feet to negate the strength, and they've got to keep this big man off balance.
Jim, you note the little psychology, the little head game there by Bobby Fulton. He's trying to frustrate Doc because he knows he needs to get this man to make a mistake for him to be able to capitalize on it.
Still to come, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Rick Steiner, and much more, including the World Six-Man Tag Team Championship. Dr. Death taking Tommy Rogers down, all out an amateur move. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking to Rick Steiner here in a few moments. And as a matter of fact, he's got some comments. Let's hear from him.
Hey, Rotunda, you call me all these names and everything and get on my case. I tell you what, when it comes to Chicago, I'll get a few things worked out in my mind. And when we get into that ring, hope I don't forget everything and just decide to knock the crap out of you and keep the belt and just go home, leave you alone. Okay, Rotunda, just remember that, because all those crazy nuts in Chicago be out there with me. Okay, Rotunda, see you in Chicago.
All right, those comments from Rick Steiner. We wish him the very best of luck, and Magnum, let's hope he can stay focused and not be confused Monday night. It's not confusing here right now what we have. Rotunda and Williams. They're going to try to look at Sullivan.
Jim, talk about focus. Look at the punishment that Mike Rotunda is dishing out. For a while there, Fulton and Tommy Rogers were able to avoid them, able to use their speed and agility, but right now, the tide has been turned, and the Varsity Club is definitely dishing out the punishment.
Rotunda sending Fulton for the ride. Nice move there by Bobby Fulton. Sunset flip. Can he hold him down? No, he cannot. He never fully executed it. He never got the legs over the shoulders. And as a result, Rotunda was able to kick out. He tags in Dr. Death Steve Williams. Rogers trying to roll away. That was very smart wrestling. He wanted to roll to his corner and make the tag, obviously. He got halfway there, and then the lights went out.
Well, he definitely had the right idea, but the Varsity Club was a little too smart for that. Steve Dr. Death missing.
High crossbody press, 1-2, and Williams just powers out. Go with a drop kick. Drop kicking Doc right in the mouth. I'll tell you something, we saw it really break loose in the studios of Superstation TBS. We certainly want to encourage the fans to join us for our 3 great programs here on the Superstation this weekend, as we will give you the final word on Chi-Town Rumble 89. That's all the great NWA action Saturday morning, Saturday night, and Sunday night here on Superstation TBS. but they tried the submission, intimidating tactics on the Road Warriors. I think that's what we're going to see Monday night. These two units truly despise each other.
Jim, there's no doubt about that. And Steve Williams is definitely the tough man in the team. I mean, look at the power. He just throws these men around like rag dolls. We watched Tommy Rogers knock him right off his feet a little while ago with a drop kick. He popped right back up. It is hard to hurt Steve Williams.
Remember, Monday night it will be Rotunda and Steiner for the World's Television Championship. And then the brute, Dr. S. Steve Williams, and the evil Kevin Sullivan. He's a very dangerous man, the Games Master, for the World Tag Titles. And Tommy Rogers fighting back with all he has. Arm drag, or a arm bar rather, and he pulls Rotunda to his corner. Fulton's a legal man. Boom! The knee lift. Right to the solar plexus. He's grapevine the leg. Teddy Long hit a 2 count.
That's the kind of teamwork they need, but they've got to wear them down a little bit more before they're going to be able to get that 3 count, which they very much need.
Fulton hammers down on Mike Rotunda. And Dr. Death with a cheap shot on Bobby Fulton. This is just like a basketball team. That is a small, fast-breaking team. They got to run, get up down the floor to be effective. And you got the other team with a big height advantage. They want to slow it down. That's this parallel we have here. And Williams certainly not acting like the great All-American Mark Price, the native of Oklahoma, plays right here in Cleveland for the Cavaliers. Williams with a blatant cheap shot at Sullivan. That's got to be very, very proud of Williams' underhanded tactics here, and I'll just be frank with you. I'm ashamed of the way he's conducting himself in the varsity club.
Well, you and I have both seen the change, but he seems to like it. He's been very successful in this new light. He is doing more damage than I've ever seen him do any time in his career.
Rotunda with a thumb right to the throat of Bobby Fulton, and Fulton is really hurting here. The resiliency of this great young athlete is certainly going to be tested as Rotunda and Williams are controlling this match, and they are leaving that one man. And look how fast and quick, Magnum, they're tagging in and out.
Jim, they're doing what we were talking about the Fantastic should be doing. They're utilizing the tag, and when they come in with the big guns, they are really doing some damage. And look at Steve coming off the top.
Williams, a double axe handle blow right off the top. And Bobby Fulton.
Bobby Fulton's in a lot of trouble here. I don't know how much of this punishment he can hold up under before something gives. And we know they're going to go for the submission. And he could literally rip that arm off his shoulder.
Ladies and gentlemen, we sincerely appreciate you being with us here tonight on Superstation TBS. This is the NWA, and we wrestle in the NWA. Nice arm drag, good counter there by Bobby Fulton. This is a wrestling match, a tag team wrestling match, and you're seeing classic strategy. For many of you at home that perhaps don't follow professional wrestling as closely as some others, the object of the game is for 2 men to team on their opponent, that one man, as often and as long as they can without letting him make a tag. It's that simple, and that's the classic style we're seeing here.
The Varsity Club has never looked more effective. They're cutting the ring in half. Bobby Fulton isn't even coming close to making that very vital tag, which he desperately needs. Tommy Rogers is his only hope of salvation at this time.
That may be the break you needed right there, Fulton. Perhaps out of desperation, perhaps out of his own training, created a mistake, but Rotunda made the tag. Fulton did not. That's the key point here, Magnum. Rotunda made the tag, and Tommy Rogers wants to defend his partner, but he's got to leave the ring.
And Jim, it becomes very frustrating at this point in time, being that partner, standing on the side of the apron, waiting for that tag, feeling totally helpless to do anything to change the situation. To watch your partner take that much punishment is almost unbearable.
Classic parallel, the great big team and the great smaller team. Look at the strength of this man. We saw Hacksaw Reed out here. We'll see the Road Warriors. I don't think any of them are any stronger than that big man right there.
Jim, it looks like he's setting up for one of those patented tackles, and this could really be a disastrous situation.
Down in an all four-point stance. Big number 76 for the Sooners. Well, you can read any headline in the country, and I'm sure Doc's reading them about the Sooners. He's not in such a great mood. They're trying for the stampede. He's trying for the stampede, and Fulton held the ropes until he fell back on Doc. Now Bobby Fulton needs to make the tag here. Reach out there, young man, and make that tag. Rogers is rested. He's got a hit and run. He's got a shuck and jive here with a doctor. Fulton jitterbugging all over the ring. Trying to confuse the doctor, and right hands, that may be a mistake. Don't go toe-to-toe. Wrestle him and use your quickness. He just got nailed from the outside by Mike Rotunda. Williams went for the elbow. There's the quickness. Rogers moves out of the way.
Jim Ross, this situation is really getting ready to get out of hand. There's too much happening for the referee to better keep up with all this action.
Bobby Fulton, set for the ride. He kicks one and punches the other. He's got to give his partner time to come in. Rogers with a fine body press off the top rope. The referee's putting Fulton out. It's Rotunda with a cheap shot right in the back of the head. It was Rotunda's cheap shot. He stomped him in the head, and the Varsity Club retained the U.S. title.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next bout, one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing from Washington, D.C., weighing in at 240 pounds, Bob Bradley. His opponent, about to enter the ring, weighing in at 235 pounds. He hails from Charlotte, North Carolina. He is the #1 contender for the World's Heavyweight Championship, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
The motivation that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is drawing from, leaving the ringside area, his lovely wife Bonnie and the little dragon Magnum. And if what we saw earlier in the program serves as any indication, I literally cannot wait till Monday night. And fans, if you haven't called your cable company for program availability so that you can see this big event, or for you fans in Chicago, we hope that you will be with us Monday night the UIC Pavilion, 8 o'clock Eastern time for that super event.
And Jim Ross, if there's any doubt in anyone's mind this man's ready, look at the look in Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's eye. He still has the welts across his chest from their last confrontation, but he is ready to soundly defeat the world's heavyweight champion and claim it as his own.
Nice move there, atomic drop. Follows it with big right hands. The martial arts skills of the Dragon coming to the forefront here. We have to tip our hat to this man. He is the #1 contender for the World's Heavyweight Championship. He did not have to wrestle here tonight. That was his choice.
And Jim, you know, he says that's his game plan. He's constantly trying to sharpen his skills. He wants to be the most ready he's ever been in his life, and he feels like this is the way to do it, keep wrestling right up until the last minute. And this is really right at the last minute.
Nice counter move by Bob Bradley, scoop slam. Certainly look forward to seeing all the great fans in the Windy City in Chicago Monday night. We understand that there are some good seats still available for you fans in the Chicago area. We hope that you will plan on being with us. We're going to cram them into the rafters. I'll tell you that. We always got room for one more. That's what they say at the supper table back in Oklahoma. And we got room for one more in the UIC Pavilion come Monday night. And the Dragon, he's got great power. That's something that is misleading. In this move, we know there's quickness. Nobody arm drags better than Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. But Magnum, he's a strong athlete.
But Jim, it's a graceful power. It's almost a feline cat-like launching power. I mean, we've watched him leap high through the air. We've watched him sling men across the ring, hoist Ric Flair high over his head and press slams. The man's got it all. He's not a big, bulky athlete, but he's got a tremendous package all put together there.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in such magnificent condition as we can easily see. And I'll tell you something. I've seen Jim Palmer makes a living modeling underwear. I think Ric Flair may have that to look forward to if Steamboat has his way Monday night, because Flair was down to his BVDs or whatever brand they were and his socks before that situation finally got subdued.
And such poetic justice it was as Ric Flair talking about all the material things in life, and he saw just how quickly he could be stripped of them.
Powerful slam right here on the outside. This is the chance Steamboat was going to take. He knew he was going to be in a risky position to wrestle this closely to Monday night against a quality athlete like this young man, Bob Bradley, who quite frankly, Magnum, has absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain here.
And Jim, who's to say that Ric Flair hasn't slipped a few dollars possibly Bradley's way, offered him a little something special if he could put a little niche in the armor of the Dragon.
Bradley, what a clothesline. Perfectly executed by Bob Bradley. Still to come, fans, don't forget the television champion Rick Steiner in action against Rip Morgan and the battle for the six-man World Tag Team Championship. Oh, Bradley head first into the center turnbuckle. His momentum took him up in the air, and the Dragon, the cool, calculating Dragon with a great arm drag, and he wasn't so cool about 30 or 45 minutes ago.
Jim, I could watch him throw that arm drag all day long, the arch back, the graceful flow. I mean, this man seems so cool, calm, and calculated. It's hard to believe that just a few short time ago that we saw him come totally unglued and disclothe the World's Heavyweight Champion right here live.
Bradley telegraphing that maneuver. Everybody can see that one coming, and Steamboat certainly takes advantage of it. Steamboat with the elevation. He's got Bob Bradley up, and again, the classic arm drag into the arm bar, wide base, and Steamboat is controlling this one at this point in time. Bradley sends him for the ride. Great leapfrog by Steamboat. This is where he's so good when there's great movement. He's so fluid and so quick, and virtually so error-free back into the other arm drag. This guy is just phenomenal. He is ready for Monday night. He's ready right now.
Jimmy's got such great ring savvy. He always knows where he's at in the ring. He always knows his position. He knows how to utilize the size, strength, and weight that he possesses. And that's what's going to be so important Monday night, to wrestle on instinct, not to have to think about it, have it come second nature. And I think Ricky Steamboat is ready.
4 major championships will be decided in Chicago. Nice move there by Steamboat fans. You can hear him chanting in the background. Good movement by Bradley. Bradley with a chop, reminiscent of the martial arts skills of the Dragon. But they were chanting here, "We want Flair, we want Flair." Well, they'll get Flair Monday night, and you can get it too if you call your local cable company. Side slam by Bob Bradley. Or better yet, just be with us in Chicago. Be with us in the Windy City.
Jim, it's got to be a little distracting for Steamboat because he's already been through a tremendous amount of excitement here tonight, and Bradley has done a little bit of damage.
You know that he has already peaked emotionally with that set 2 with Flair. He's going right now on the great technique and the great preparedness that his body possesses. His mind right now, you got to believe, Magnum, you've been there. It's got to be on Ric Flair. It's got to be on Monday night, but physically, he's got a great contest here with Bob Bradley.
That's right, but you see, now he's got the man laid out. And he's climbing to the top, and we know what happens next.
The Dragon will fly here. Karate chop, or judo chop rather, right off the top rope. And the Steamer, he is a man that doesn't mind high risk. He'll go for it all. And he went for this against the Nature Boy and pinned him on national TV. He's going to pin him here tonight. But can he do it Monday night in Chicago? closing moments of this contest. Bradley having a hard time keeping his equilibrium. Look at this. This is high risk personified.
Jim Ross, he's the master of execution, poised high on the top rope. This is the move he'll be looking for Monday night. Coming across the chest here of Bob Bradley, nailing him to the canvas, hooking the leg, doing everything just by the textbook, and this is what it takes.
Fans, when we come back, it'll be the NWA's most unorthodox wrestler, the TV champ, Rick Steiner, coming up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next bout, one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing from New Zealand, weighing in at 289 pounds, Rip Morgan. Belt on backwards or not, this is a non-title event. As we all know, he will be facing Mike Rotunda for the World's Television Championship come Monday night. Rick Steiner originally from Bay City, Michigan. Well, they got to be proud of that kid up there in the beautiful northern part of Michigan, where he is from. Mike Rotunda is going to be joining his fans here in just a few moments. I'm sure he has something to say regarding Monday night's big event. As a matter of fact, Rotunda is standing by. Let's hear what he has to say.
You know something, Steiner? Everybody's out here running their mouth, telling everybody what they're going to do in Chicago. But I'm going to be a little different. I'm going to make a guess. And being an educated man from a fine university as I am, I'm guessing that you don't leave Chicago the champion that I do. It's going to be like taking candy from a baby, Steiner.
All right, those comments, Magnum, from Mike Rotunda. Oh, Steiner is so physical. Hey, the farthest thing from his mind right now is a calculus equation or going to class. He is here. He is a wrestling machine.
Jim, he is one of the greatest wrestling athletes I've seen ever come in the square circle. But the man he's going to face Monday night is a man who's got a game plan. And the only thing I worry about is Steiner. You know, I know he knew what he was doing when he was going after the title when he was in the quest. But now he's defending. He's defending against men who have well laid out plans, and I hope he's ready.
Alex will be ready. You can bet on that. I'm going to buy Alex a new pair of gloves and really be decked out on Monday. The dog-faced gremlin. Collar and elbow tie up, big Rip Morgan. Big, powerful, unorthodox man. He may be a sandwich or two shy of a picnic, but he is one big, tough hombre, and he's got a hard head indeed.
You know, Rip Morgan has always impressed me as being a totally unpredictable individual. But look at Steiner. I mean, he just doesn't know what pain is.
Big left hand there, roundhouse left by Rip Morgan, the southpaw from New Zealand. He's set for the ride. A lot of velocity. Big football tackle, what impact. I'll tell you something, this, yes indeed, a big power slam. It is indeed the NWA. And we most certainly wrestle here. Since 1905, the established mark of excellence in professional wrestling. He looks like a pit bulldog there, doesn't he? Looks like a Georgia mascot.
Jim, if I wasn't mistaken, I think he'd like to run over there and bite him on the leg. I mean, this guy's life is sound.
I'm glad there's no fire hydrants in sight. Steiner he is pumped here, man. I'll tell you something. He's looking up at the crowd. They're barking with him.
But Jim, you know, I used to think it was just a ploy if he was trying to throw his opponents off guard, trying to act like he was a little off in left field, but I mean, he's been doing this too long now. He's more than convinced me.
Big right hand. Straight right. Nothing fancy. Just powerful. Straight right hand. Morgan Irish whipped into the corner, and Steiner a little overzealous there, a little over anxious. He made a mistake, and Morgan's capitalized on it.
And that's the kind of mistake he can't afford to make. As the champion, he has got to be thinking all the time. I know he relies on that natural ability, that natural strength to him, but one day it's going to get him in trouble, and a lot of trouble right there.
Lateral press. The New Zealander has not got a great amateur background. He's from the school of hard knocks, so to speak. Spent a lot of time in the shearing shed, I understand. So he didn't grapevine the leg there. Lateral press, I thought was a little lax, man.
Well, Rip Morgan, the classic brawler. He's trying to go out here and execute his brawling maneuvers, the punch, the kicks, and the wild man that he is. But you got to realize Steiner can always execute a devastating maneuver out of literally anywhere, and he's really hard to hurt. Even though he seems to appear in trouble, he can always surprise you.
Morgan now going to put it all on the line here, going up for high risk, and Steiner moves out of the way. Steiner moves out of the way. Let's see if the TV champion. You can hear that one up in Golden, Colorado. There'll be a silver bullet popped after that one.
And the power of those fists, that short forearm, that short clothesline, he is hurting him, and hurting him quick.
Steiner went for the kill right there. To the credit of this youngster from New Zealand, he moved out of the way. He is so unorthodox. And caught Steiner coming off with a bear hug. But there's a belly-to-belly suplex. What a counter move. He suplexed him out of his boots. And the TV champion has won another one.
Fans, right outside the dressing room, you're here with Junkyard Dog, Sting, Michael Hayes, Freebird, Michael Hayes, Sting.
We're live right now on TV, aren't we? Live! JYD! Grapple. Sorry, Bob, I can't stand still. You know the way I get whenever we do this live stuff on TV. I got the camera in my face. I got JYD going, and I got PS, of course, who's a pro with the six-man tags, by the way. And we just got a few things to talk about. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Because I'm too excited to even talk right now. We got a lot to talk about, I know.
Just bring that energy out to the ring, baby.
It always is.
We are ready, Bob. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's no secret across the world that the six-man tag was never even invented until the fabulous Freebirds. And it's no secret with these two men behind me that it's a personal thing for me to be able to go out and capture the six-man world title without my brothers. And I just want to tell you this, and I want to tell the Road Warriors, you know that I know how to beat you, and we're fixing to do that.
Oh, we got
right
a plan.
now.
We got a plan!
I know how to do it, and you know it. Now, Bob, we don't want to talk about it anymore because I know they're no fools, especially Paul Ellering, and they're watching this, and you're not going to get any information until you meet us eye to eye. You understand that? Ain't that right, dog? You said you need a bone. How about a world belt?
We got a bone to chew on. We got 1, 2, 3 big bones to take those 3 lovely belts back down south.
Right back home to Atlanta. Right back home. This guy's got more energy when he's asleep than most people got when they're awake. He needs a bone, and I got something to prove. Hey, listen up. Let's go talk it over.
I tell you, fans are ready for it. They're going back down to the dressing room right now. They're going to make their last-minute plans as they talk over just what they're going to do and how they're going to go against the world. Wait a minute, Kevin Sullivan. Kevin, what are you doing here, Kevin? Hold on a minute. I don't think your dressing room's down there, Kevin. What are you doing? Kevin, wait a minute. Fans, he's putting a chain or something around that gate. And Kevin, he's locking the gate. Kevin, no, wait a minute. They got to come back out of there. They got to go to the ring and wrestle right now.
They don't have to come out with nothing, because all the refs are caught.
Kevin Sullivan, we talked about how even he was in there. They locked down there. It's the only interest. Fans, we got a major problem here. We got to try to figure out what we're going to do, get the building superintendent or someone. Right now, let's take a break.
break loose here. This is not Michael Hayes, Sting, and a Junkyard Dog, quite obviously. The Varsity Club have locked the challengers in that the dressing room area down there. There's a steel cage door. They're working feverishly, as you saw, to open that door. But the Warriors and Tenryu, the six-man champions, are back into the ring. And this is a brawl. There you see in your screen right there. They're trying to get the door open so Hayes and company can make it to the ring. But we've got action in the ring, and we've got a lot of it.
Jim, what we're having here is the unscheduled Battle of the Bullies. This is what we've been talking about. This is what we've been expecting, but we weren't expecting it right now, that's for sure.
Tenryu, voted the most popular wrestler in Japan, a former sumo wrestler, a man that has pulled weight to be in the great shape that he is in, and he and the Road Warriors comprise the six-man tag team champions of the world. And Monday night, Williams and Sullivan will meet the Road Warriors 2-on-2 for the biggest tag team prize in the sport. And there you see Director of Security Doug Dillinger trying to get the chain off. They're trying keys. They need to get some bolt cutters or something back there.
Kevin Sullivan and his Varsity Club have got to want these men bad to be locking their opponents up in such a fashion. But he is definitely not getting his money's worth here because Animal just flattened him.
Ooh, he had to hit Dr. Death with a clothesline and Rotunda. All the Varsity Club had bolted. Kick to the face. The Bullies versus the Bullies. Who's the baddest men on the block? Sullivan and Hawk, collar and elbow tie-up as they are working as feverishly as possible. Hawk throwing a heavy lumber around. Sullivan feels it. Sullivan goes for the ride. Oh, what a football tackle!
Jim, if you want to play, you don't have to look for with Hawk because this man's running it now. The big Tenryu, the big man from Japan. This is what we want to see.
He's a big, strong man with a great amateur background. So does Mike Rotunda. This should be a classic here. Rotunda rakes the eyes, follows with an All-American right hand. He sends Tenryu for the ride, who reverses it. Ooh, a chop! I mean a big chop! Drop kick, Tenryu, the drop kick right to the jaw. And Rotunda wants a timeout.
And what a frustrating feeling this must be for the Junkyard Dog. Sting and them, look, these guys can knock it out.
All right, now Dr. Death in there, Dr. Death and Tenryu. Rotunda as well as a double team. Misses with the clothesline, misses again with the clothesline, but he didn't miss with that kick. The butt kick, the karate kick to the back of the head. And Tenryu tags in Hawk. Williams sent for the ride. Hawk, oh, what a clothesline. There's nowhere to go for the Doctor. The Doctor is out.
And no place to go when Hawk runs into you with that kind of velocity. Even Dr. Death, Steve Williams can't stand up under that kind of punishment.
And there you see, I know if you just tuned in, fans, it's scheduled to be Hayes, JYD, and the Sting challenging for these six-man titles. Sullivan locked that steel cage, and that's a heavy security cage there. And they're trying to find a bolt cutter, I'm told. The building man is on his way. There's a bolt cutter's right there. What the heck's going to happen when they do get it open?
And this was scheduled to be a title match. What's going to happen if there's a pinfall before somebody gets out?
Uh-oh, here they come. Here they come. Hayes, JYD. It'll take them a few moments to make it to the ring. This one is, what a contest. The Varsity Club, they want the Road Warriors, and the feeling is mutual, I should add. Animal powering Dr. Death back into the corner. Doc makes the tag. They're working on the Animal. They try to break his arm in the studios of Superstation TBS. The Varsity Club, they have the U.S. tag titles. They want the world tag titles. That's what they want. Oh, working under the arm. That was they got to separate his shoulder right there.
And that's the strategy that they said would be successful. They were going to find a part, they were going to hurt them, and they were to show that even the Road Warriors had a weak link in their armor.
That's what they tried to do, as I mentioned, in the studios of Superstation TBS. They're working on a Hawk, or Animal now, the big man, 304. They're working on his arm. Hawk can just take so much. He's over the top rope. That should be a disqualification. The referee did not see it, and they are continuing to wrench and work on the arm. They'd like to dislocate the shoulder. That could have a heck of an impact on Monday night.
Absolutely, that's exactly what I was going to say. If Kevin Sullivan was thinking, if he can put them out, if he can hurt them, where Monday night they're unable to defend those titles, he could definitely pull an upset.
And they ran the shoulder and the arm and the steel post one more time. Sullivan hammers away. The sadistic Kevin Sullivan, the games master, wants all the gold. And he and Williams will have that opportunity Monday night. Tackle it. What a collision. Animal went down, but so did Sullivan. They're trying to make the tag here. Animal needs to make the tag. He's tagged his partner. He tagged Hawk. Hawk is in there. He was tagged. He was legally tagged.
Jim, the referee, there was too much going on. He wasn't able to keep up with all the action. And look at this. They've already got Animal hurt, and they're setting him up. They can put it completely out of wrestling right here. This could be more devastating than you can imagine.
Here come the challengers. The Spider Pile Driver. They put him in the Spider. He'll steal it over the top. This one is break. The referee's calling for the bell. We'll have a disqualification in this one. We've got 9 men. 10 if you count Ellering, of course. And this is one breaking loose situation. They're kicking each other's butt from corner to corner, inside and out.
Jim Ross, it's every man for himself. That we've got ourselves an unscheduled battle royal here. This is no man's land. This is not the place to be.
Williams outside. Sullivan out there with the stinger. Hayes in the ring, kicking away at the Japanese. Tenryu and JYD are paired off. Atomic drop on the concrete by Sting on Sullivan. Baby, this one is inside. It is outside. They are up. They are down. They're moving furniture. This is wild action. This is the NWA.
The 6-man World Tag Team titles are supposedly being on the line, and there's some retribution being paid out here today.
This is a street fight environment. Big Dr. Death and Road Warrior Animal in there. Rotunda with Hawk. There's no friends. They take no prisoners in this environment. What's it going to be like Monday night in Chicago? The UIC fans, let's get this back together. We're going to get out of here. Get the security, and we'll be right back. We're back here. We are back here at a Superstation, and they fought all during the break. The security officers have been unable, Magnum, to subdue these men. And if it's like this here tonight in Cleveland, what's it going to be like Monday?
We have had a melee, we've had a massacre, we've had a mob scene, and it's going to be more of the same Monday night. These guys are geared up for a fight.
For you fans in Chicago, we hope that you'll get your tickets and join us Monday night live in the Pavilion. If you can't be with us in Chicago, be sure, whatever you do, to call your local cable company and ask for program availability. Chi-Town Rumble 89. Baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. And Flair and Steamboat, what a collision. The Varsity Club and the Road Warriors, 4 championship matches on the line. For Magnum TA, I'm Jim Ross saying thanks for being with us. We'll see you Saturday on the Superstation.